YouTube as well. So, that platform it's a little baby platform. We ain't gonna lie. It's a little baby platform for me, at least. For some of y'all might, eventually we'll get there. We'll get there. Jason, man, that is great news, brother. Like, I'm glad that you were able to execute on that and actually go through and talk to your accountant today. And speed, man, the speed of that, you realize like very quickly that you can start saving some payroll costs and payroll taxes just in general. So, man, that's amazing. I'm glad you were able to implement that. Richard says he met with his accountant today. He'll be sending me a quote for taxes. He gave me a lot of good information. That's amazing. That's amazing. Y'all are out there making moves. Listen, one day, it only took one day for y'all to start making moves, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. We don't have no echo. I just want to make sure there's no echo today because the first 45 seconds of yesterday it was echoes. So y'all let me know if we have an echo in the chat. Let me know. I hope we don't, but if we do, let me know. Let me know. I gotta pop this back up. There we go. All good, all good, all good. All right, let's get into it. Let's get into it. So we're talking day two, y'all. We're talking day two. All right. Day two is going to be important, just like every day. It's important to show up as well. Listen, 6 o'clock, 6:04. Yeah, people were here 15 minutes early. That's amazing. That's great. Um, Make sure that you have your pen. Make sure you have your paper. Make sure you bring an open mindset. And if you're working, if you're doing something, try to get those distractions, to lighten up a little bit while we're doing this. All right. So today, I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen, and then we'll get straight into it. Screen 3. There we go. All right. All right. Can everybody see this? Y'all should be able to see it. I'm gonna assume you can because it just showed me that we could see it. So we're gonna press on with it. All right. So day two mastermind webinar. Listen, today the goal is to go over two things. Okay, two things. We're gonna go over systems and we're gonna go over capacity. All right, systems, capacity. So it's really two different things, but they really do tie in together. Okay, and I'm gonna show you how they do it. So yesterday we talked about our numbers. So we got to know our numbers. VIP, we went a lot deeper into that. VIP this morning, we went even deeper into it then. And a lot of y'all were able to figure out some of the things that y'all were having issues with. So that was the first foundational part that I really wanted to teach you guys. With detailing, it goes a little bit deeper than that. Obviously you need to learn how to detail, but listen, I'm not going to teach you how to detail. They got 9,000 videos on how you can learn how to actually detail. So I'm not going to go through how to detail, but I will teach you everything else. I'll teach you everything else. All right. So let's talk about why systems matter more than marketing. Okay. Systems are more important than marketing because without the proper systems, marketing is just a complete waste. All right. It's a complete waste. So what are systems, right? What is an actual system? I know you guys have heard people all over the place. Yeah, man, you got to have the right systems, man. Yeah, man, I just implemented SOPs and now my business is running smooth. And you're probably like, what is this guy even talking about? What's an SOP? He's got SOPs? He's got a SOP? What's a SOP? I don't know what a SOP is, right? So to break it down, very, very simple, very simple. A system is just a process that produces a predictable outcome, okay? A predictable outcome. So let's break that down in very, very simple terms for us detailers, right? So real world example, here's a system, right? Washing a car. If you wash the wheels, you wash the tires, the wheel well, door jambs, gas cap, exhaust tips, wash the body, get the bugs, get the bumper. That is a system, y'all. That is a system. And that system produces consistent results, right? If you do them in the same order every single time, you'll get the same results, right? What else is another system that we use every single day? We have a system every day we wake up. We have a system when we wake up. When you wake up, you get up, you brush your teeth, you make your bed, you fold your blankets up, you put your socks on, you put your boxers on, you put your pants on, you put your shirt on, put deodorant on. For some of us, some people don't put deodorant on. Some of y'all need to put deodorant on, but you put deodorant on. That's a system. That is a system. It is a system that's not written down, but it's something that you do in a systematic order to get you prepared to go to work, right? That's what a system is. A system is going to help you get things done in the same exact order every single time, okay? That's why everybody talks SOPs, SOPs. Well, SOPs is just a system, systems of a process, okay? All right, so why orders matter, okay? We want to prevent missteps, right? So we can imagine if we're a detailer and we are having someone else do a detail for us and we say, all right, y'all, so what we do is we just clean the wheels and you clean tires and then just wash it. Just wash it. Can you imagine like someone who's never washed something before? What's going to happen is they're going to go in, they're going to start on, they're going to wash it down. They may do this wheel, may do the other wheel. They may hit this exhaust. They may get bugs. There's no clear standard. There's no clear order in order for them to go down step by step in order to achieve the same results, which is just a clean car. That's the results that we're looking for. We're looking for a clean car. And you got to keep in mind that you're not always just going to hire someone that has the best experience. Now, you could probably hire someone that has experience, but that doesn't mean it's the best experience, right? If they're coming from a place where there was no systems and what they used to do is just clean the car, they would say, hey, car coming, we clean it. Like, that's not the best kind of candidate that you want to bring on. You want to bring on someone who's open to doing things in a seamless process. That means there's going to be step by step by step by step. We're going to do it in order, right? So a lot of people, they want to hire, they want to train, they want to get people in, but they don't have systems, right? There's no systems to help them say, hey, what do I do next? It's all up here. If it's all up here, how is someone supposed to know what they're supposed to do, right? So why systems matter? It prevents missteps. It reduces thinking. They don't have to think about what's next. It increases speed because they're organized and they're doing it in a consistent order, right? And it improves quality because it helps eliminate missteps. So that's what a system is. A system is very, very simple, okay? So I want you to start thinking like, what systems do you have in your business right now that everyone knows about, including yourself, even if it's just you, right? Can you go pick up a physical copy of your systems? Like who has the system? Who knows what the standard operating procedure is for washing a car or doing the interior or restocking your van at the end of the day, filling up water? I heard a guy say earlier that he had to go out of his way to go and get a guy because he said he couldn't fill up water, but the valve was shut off, right? Systems, right? So if the system is turn the valve on, fill up the water, then it's like, okay, hey man, I'm not getting any water. Okay, first let's go through the system. Did you turn on the valve? Oh, no, I didn't do that. Here we go. Problem solved. You got to follow the system. Turn on the water, then you can fill it. Turn on the valve, then you can fill it. That's the system, okay? I know y'all gonna hear me saying system a lot, but that's what we're talking about. We're talking about systems. If y'all got a better word for it, y'all let me know. I get tired of hearing SOPs, to be honest. Like I hear people SOP this, SOP that, SOP. I get tired of hearing that. Like it's just a system. It's just a procedure. It's just a process. That's all it is. Everybody makes that word seem like they just know what they're doing because they use the word SOP, but that's all it is, right? So systems make delegation possible. If it only works when you do it, it's not a system. It's not a system whatsoever. If you're the only one who knows about it, right? It's not a system. That is your own system in your head. Okay. All right. So how do systems help us, right? How can a system help you in your day-to-day operations? They're going to give you freedom. They're going to reduce stress, and it's going to help you grow faster. So, what is a system that we can actually implement into a detailing business? I'm going to give you an example. Can somebody write in the chat, in the question, a problem that they have in their system? What is a problem that they have? And then I'm going to give you a different version of a system that I have. Okay. So here's a system that we have, and I talked about this morning. So the VIPs that were in here this morning, it's going to be like deja vu, but it's a system, right? So the system that we use when we first approach the customer's house, there's a few certain things that are part of the system, right? How you park, right? So there's only two ways you can park. You can park in a T, or you can park parallel behind each other. So you can park with the rear of the van facing the vehicle, or you can park with your passenger door facing the vehicle. Okay. And passenger door is emphasized. And the reason why, I'm going to tell you. Okay. I created that system because one day I parked on the street, had my door with the driver's door facing the car, and I walked out in the street, almost got ran slap over. I was like, oh my gosh, like, man, I literally almost got hit today, right? And it made me realize, like, man, well, the way that our detail units are built, they're set up so that you work from one side, right? One side has a generator where it just blows exhaust fumes out. The other side is where we work from. So I made a system to where when you park, you can only park parallel, which is going to be, I'm not sorry, not parallel, but adjacent, where the rear is facing the back of the van or back of the vehicle, and or you can park where your passenger side is facing the vehicle. That's the only two options. Anything else besides that, it's wrong. And it, you're still going to run into problems. We'll talk about that, but that's one system. Another system that directly follows that is an inspection of the vehicle with the customer. So what we do is it's an inspection and expectations. So we go over the vehicle to make sure that the customer understands what they're getting and what they're not getting. How many people have had a problem like with a detail? After the detail, the customer's like, well, I thought that, we would be doing the back of the wheels. I thought we were going to be doing a polish where we did scratch removal. I thought we were going to be doing this. Those things, right, create problems. We don't want them thinking, we want them knowing. So creating a system where we go step by step with the customer, we walk them through, we say, hey, all right, this is what's coming in your package. You're going to get this, 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 this. Oh, I see stains, but that's not going to be included in your package. So those same stains will be present unless you upgrade to a carpet shampoo or hot water extraction, right? That is a system. That's a system. All right. So let's see. I'm going to get into that one. Okay, hiring process. Okay, Wayne says hiring process. All right, so let's get into a system for a hiring process. That's great because I'm actually using that right now. I just hired someone today, and I use my own system that I do, right? So the first portion of my system is I have to put out an ad, right? So I got to put out a way to bring people in. I use Indeed. Some people say Indeed doesn't work. It works for me. I mean, that's all I can say. It works for me. Now, my system, I'm going to tell you my system for hiring people. My system is first, I set the ad up. Second, what I do is I create an automated message that will go out to every single candidate that applies. And it basically says, hey, tell me a little bit about yourself. And it's in a detailed order. It's specific questions that I ask, right? And what happens is that helps me know who actually pays attention to details, right? Because we're hiring people that pay attention to details. So when I get responses back, right, if they just say, hey, thanks for taking my application, let me know when I can do an interview, they're not a candidate. If they answer my questions to the T properly, it doesn't have to be, the best answer, but that's the first part of my system. Before you can even come in, you got to follow directions, right? So when they fill out that information, that's going to tell me whether they're a candidate right off the bat, right? After I get that information, I run them through another system, which is going to be our interview process, where I have a series of questions. If you guys are in the school community, you can scroll down through some of the chat. I seen it today, and you'll see where I posted hiring questions in a PDF form. And you can just ask those questions to the T down the list, and that's your system. And what that system does, it helps you build an avatar for that detailer, and it'll tell you whether they're a candidate for you or not. But I don't stop there, right? The next portion of the system is I give them a task. Okay. So I give them a task that I want them to complete that has to do with A, it's going to be a benefit for me, and B, it's going to be a benefit for them. So I tell them to leave a review for the company, telling them how when they come on board, how they are going to make a difference in my company, right? So how they're gonna what they're gonna bring to the table for my clients is what I'm asking them. And that does two things. A, it makes them do something additional for the job. So like if they're just sending out, applications left and right, and they're just trying to get a job anywhere, well, I don't want them, right? But if they're going to go through these steps and procedures, can we all agree that if it's hard to get in, it's going to be hard for them to leave, right? So that's the system that I live by. If it's hard to get in, it's going to be harder for them to leave because they're going to think like, dang, I had to do all this stuff to get in here. I'm not leaving. I can't leave. Like I'm making good money. It was already hard enough to get the job, right? So I task them to read a book. That's the thing I give them for them. The book that I usually have them read is The Millionaire Next Door. The reason why I have them read that book is because that will help them understand to stop chasing money and just find a place that presents opportunity. And then what you do with that opportunity is up to you. That's why I make them read that book. After that, I do another interview process. And that's by the time they've done all the other stuff, I just want to see them. Like that's all it really is. A lot of times when people get through the whole pipeline and then we get to the last interview and I'm just like all nonchalant, just like, oh yeah, man, like how's your day? What do you think about detailing? And I show them the vans and I talk to them a little bit. I explain to them, and this is the opportunity. That's it. Then what happens is they understand like, dang, this is more than just a job. Like anywhere else that I've gone, it's been easy to get in, so it's easy to leave. If I go through one interview process, they hired me on the spot. Yeah, well, that wasn't very hard. But if I go through two different interview processes, I have to leave a review, I have to read a book just to get the job. Like I'm gonna value that a little bit more. Okay. So that is a system. That is my hiring process in a nutshell. That is how I hire people all the time. If you want to take it, write it down, use it. I promise you, you'll start finding a lot better candidates and you'll be able to weed them out a lot sooner. If you hire them fast, you better fire them fast. If you hire them slow, it's going to be a lot harder to get rid of them. Okay. Now, so where do we put these systems? Like, where do they go? Like, where we got all these systems, they're in our head, but where do we put them at? So the best things that I think work the best is being either A, on a Google Doc, right? Or in a handbook. I do both. I do both of them. I put them together. I have a Google Doc, I have a handbook, I have a school platform, I got videos. I'm trying to give them all the resources. I'm not even gonna lie. I've been trying to build a game so that way when I build the game, it'll literally be a game that'll walk them through the entire process of working at Luxury Wash on Wheels. Like it'll be step by step, every process that they need to go through every single day. It'll be right there on a video game. That's what I've been kind of working on right now. Slowly but surely. Right. So you got it all in your handbook, you got it all in a Google Doc, you got all your systems right? Lined out. So how do you come up with your systems? This is what I want you to do. For anyone who has no systems, even if you're a solo operator, you have no employees, you don't even want to have an employee. You're like, you know what? I don't want any employees. It's just going to be me. I still want you to do this. I still want you to do this because if someone needs to come help you out, if for some reason something happens, you're like, man, I just really need help. You can immediately hand them over this book and say, hey, here you go. Read through this. This is what you need to know. Who here, just by show of, I want you to put a one. Who here seen the video, right? A lot of people seen the video, but who here seen the video of when I was doing a training on a new hire and I was sitting down walking them through a book? Who here seen that? Who here seen that? Put a one. Jason's seen it. Richard's seen it. Darian's seen it. Hawan's seen it, right? Deshaun's seen it. So you guys all seen that, right? And to be honest, that guy was here 3 days and then he was on his own by himself. That's like, it was 3 days. I gave him that book. I gave him all the videos and everything. Now he asked a lot of questions, but I'll be honest. I think he was just a person that was very unsure of a lot of things, and he asked a lot of questions regardless. He just asked a lot of questions. It doesn't matter. We talked about this morning. We call them pointless questions, but hey, there's no such thing as a bad question, so I answer every one of them, right? But I was able to take him and train him off of a book that I wrote, off of a book that I designed that just had systems in it. And that's all it was. And in the book, it shows pictures. It shows detailed locations of where these things are at. It shows him everything that he needs to know in order to do his job throughout the entire day. And I'm able to train people like that, right? But all of that being said, if you have all these systems, you can have 9,000 systems. Who here has kids? Who has kids? Anyone have kids? Put a one if you got kids over here. Let me see who's got kids. All right, Darian's got kids, right? So like just like my kids, right? They know the system, right? They know, like, hey, your room should be clean, your bathroom should be clean, dishes in the sink should be cleaned. I need to say that a little bit louder so my kids can hear me. Yeah, the dishes should be cleaned, right? So they know those things, right? But knowing those things without enforcing the systems is going to be 100% pointless. It's going to be 100% pointless. If you do not enforce them, it's not going to happen. If they know that you're not going to enforce them, oh, it's even worse, right? So this is how I train people, and this is how I hold them accountable. So that way I know that they know, right? And there's also multiple ways that you can do this. So you show them, you read it with them, they see it, which is going to be the videos, and then they do it, right? That's how you know if they can do the system. You know that they know the system because you showed them. You know that they know the system because you gave them the handbook and you read it through with them. You know that they did it because they watched every single training video that you made, and then you watched them do it. Who here can agree that if you do all of those things, that there is no way possible that they can say, I didn't know? Who here believes that? Like, who here really believes that if you show all four of these steps, there is no way that he's gonna come back, she's gonna come back saying, I never knew that, right? So we do these things, right? But it's still important that we enforce it. Enforcement is the key. A lot of people that have employees, if you're having issues with employees, when I have issues with employees, I have issues with employees solely because I am not enforcing the company standards. They're there. There's a book on it. There's an accountability system. There's all these things, right? But if I'm not holding them accountable and enforcing them with write-ups, it's not going to happen. I cannot bet on that they're going to do everything that I need them to do. Okay. So does anyone have any questions about systems? I want to do that real quick. I want to make sure that no one has any questions about systems before we move on to capacity. I seen one come in. Let me see. Let's see. Do you quiz them if you have them study? Yes. So I actually have tests. So I have tests that they can take, and what I used to do. This is what I used to do. I would take the test, and it'd be on every single portion of something that they learned. And I think that it's great, but it doesn't paint the whole picture for you, right? it it's not going to hold them accountable. It's just gonna the test is just gonna show you that they know it, but just like I know and some of y'all know that have had employees before, it doesn't matter if they know it. They're always going to tell you they don't. They're always going to tell you that they don't. That's like the number one excuse when something goes wrong. They didn't know. Jason says, "What else do you do besides write-ups?" That's all you should have to do. After a write-up, if they're not getting it, then deuces, deuces. They don't respect the company. They don't care to see you be successful. They don't care about the company being successful. They don't care. So it's adios, amigos. Go. Good luck on your next adventure, because we don't have time for that. We got to hold ourselves accountable. Okay. All right. Any other questions about systems? Any other questions? What was one? Learning to build. Okay. So what was one or more of your struggles with learning to build systems? So, um, one of my struggles with building systems was simplifying, right? And I've been really good at simplifying, but you gotta keep in mind as your mind is wandering, you're like, man, I need to write a system for everything, right? And right now, you guys are probably thinking like, man, I can create a system for this, I can create a system for that. Some things need systems, some things just don't, right? I don't believe that you need to have a system for every single thing. Like I teach people, right? Like when I teach people, I'll say, hey, you need to fold your towel into fours. That way you have 8 surfaces instead of holding it the way you hold it. That's going to be an observation thing. I don't think you need to write a whole system on why you need to fold your microfiber towel into four and get 8 sides and why it's important. I think that's something that you can just go ahead and tell them. And then when they're not doing it, you can say, hey, that's not the proper way that you hold that. I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna do a write up for this. We're gonna do a soft write up for this now. But the next time it'll be a hard inquiry on you. And I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. You know how it's done. I told you. I know I told you. I checked off on it that I told you. So that's the way it's supposed to be done. And so for Jason, how many write ups? That's going to be at your own discretion. It depends on the frequency of the write-ups, depends on the severity of the write-ups. You can create a whole accountability system. So what I created was an accountability system. So essentially what it does is for the VIPs that were here this morning that did the morning mastermind, I showed you guys a form, and then I showed you guys a Google Sheet. And I showed you on the Google Sheet how it tracks everything. But what I didn't show you guys at the very bottom, there's more down there. There's more systems in there. And those systems they track the accountability, they track their tardiness, it tracks whether they're running late on jobs, all these things, it gets tracked in that little system. And then what happens is I give points. So at the beginning of the week, they get 10 points. As they are screwing up throughout the week, they lose points. So when they lose points, they will lose their bonus. And what I have is I have a structured email that goes out every single Friday, and it'll tell them how many points they have, how many upsells they have, how much commission they made, how many reviews, and I think it includes their tips, right? So it'll show them that in an email so they know. And what happens is, right, I only give you 2 points, 2 points to mess up. And so for the people that are consistently messing up, to answer Jason's question, right? If you're doing this consistently, this is what'll happen. They will get an email, right, that'll say, hey, you earned $500 in bonuses, but you got 7 points, so you're not eligible for that bonus. So your actual bonus payout is $0. And I promise you, when they see that, they're gonna get right. like they're not going to have a choice. When they see that they lost points because they weren't on time, they lost points because they didn't upload pictures. When they see that they lost points because they didn't notify the office that they were running behind an hour ahead of time, and now we look like fools because we were letting the customer know at 2 o'clock that we're running late and we're supposed to be there at 1:45. That's a write up, right? And when they see that, when you visually see that red, right, they're gonna be like, "Dang, man, that mistake cost me $500. I ain't doing that again. I'm not. I can't do that." Um, let me go through some of these questions because I do have a little bit more time than I had yesterday, so I'll go through a couple of these questions. And then I will move on. I will explain the bonuses. If you had to choose the top three systems, what would it be? Also, if you were restarting from ground up, what focus about systems would you? Okay. Um, so to answer Isaiah's question, so if I had to start all over, and I'm assuming you're going to say with employees, with at least one employee. Let's assume I have one employee and I'm starting completely over. The biggest system that I would have would be the accountability system, right? So that'd be the first one because I need to hold them accountable. I would have the training system. So, and I would have my hiring because really anything besides that, um, especially with just one person starting over, you don't really have to have all of those things. You're going to be working a little bit closer with them. You're going to spend a little bit more time with them. But as you grow, that's why I said keep it simple, right? Because as you're growing, you can always add more systems. You can always add more systems. As problems arise, you can add more systems, right? Like a small system that we have is like, okay, it's raining, right? Here's the protocol. If it's raining, right? So if there's rain in the forecast, what we'll do is we'll call the customer and we'll let them know, hey, there's rain in the forecast. Would you like to proceed with your detail? If you do, you will still be responsible for the full price, even at a rainout. And if a rainout does occur, what'll happen is we'll reschedule you for the soonest time slot and then we'll finish the detail, right? If they say they don't want to, we just reschedule you for the next day. That is a system to help you get rid of all the chaos and confusion when it just starts raining. Now, for my detailers, the rain policy is if there's rain in the forecast, we start the interior first. Okay. Who here wants to who here wants to guess why we do that? Right? I'm gonna tell you. The reason why we do that is because if we finish the interior, then we don't have to come back and do it again, right? Most of the time when you finish the exterior and it starts raining, customers are like, man, but it rained, man. Like it got all dirty the next day, man. It was just dirty. Can you just rewash it? And no, because I finished it yesterday, right? So to get rid of all that confusion, I tell my detailers our policy is we start the interior first, right? So we do the interior, hope to get it done, then we move to the exterior and try to beat the rain. If we can't, then hey, the exterior is going to be dirty regardless, so we'll just come out and rewash it. It's a lot faster. All right. Julian says, what was your hiring process? You said reading a book and I forgot the others. Julian, you're VIP, so you'll just have to go back and you can definitely listen to this whole entire thing, okay? All right. Systems create capacity, okay? Now, don't get all too stuck into reading these slides and stuff. You guys, whoever has VIP, you can go back, you can read them, you can do whatever you want. But let me explain how systems create capacity, right? Now that you have a system, right? Yesterday, what we did was is we went over how our numbers work. And when we figured out our numbers, we figured out like, well, how much do we need to make an hour? How much do we need to make for the day? How much do we make? Right? Like we figured out all these numbers. The systems help you do the same exact thing, right? So if you're going through a system, let's just talk about a restock system. It can help you understand how long it actually takes. If you're doing a system where you're washing an exterior, it's going to help you understand how long it's going to take, right? Because the way that people mess up, I see this all the time. The way they mess up is by doing it out of order. It always takes more time. It doesn't help you figure out the capacity if you're doing it different every single time. Okay. And what I do is I record. I just set up a tripod, I record, and I say, all right, let's do this process. Let's analyze it. Let's figure out where we're missing, where we're spending too much time and where we're losing time. And what we did was when I originally did this, I started realizing that people were just coming back to the van like 20 times during a detail. And I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Like, why do you keep coming back and forth, back and forth? And I would look and I'd be like, okay, well, he's grabbing towels. Oh, he's grabbing his bottle. Oh, why didn't you grab all of that the first time? You're burning yourself out just by coming back and forth to the van. Just grab all that stuff and take it with you. And then you don't have to worry about coming back and forth. You can just stay and do the job, right? Of course, for them, they're like, oh, but I want to go to the van, get in the shade, go get something to drink, whatever. Bring those things with you. Because in the summertime, when it's 105 degrees and you're talking about you're hot, and I just watched you walk back and forth to the van, burning yourself out 150 times during a detail. Well, yeah, you just wasted half your energy walking to the van. Just bring the stuff to the vehicle that you're working on. So what I did was is I created a system, right? And it's in my handbook. You can see all the bottles that you need, they're in a certain spot. All the towels that you need, they're in a certain spot. All the detail brushes that you need, they're in a certain spot when you start the detail, right? And I did that because I noticed the amount of time that was being wasted coming back and forth. So now that we got that understood, what is capacity? Capacity is what you're able to handle. And there's really two different kinds of capacity, okay? And this is mainly speaking to the business owners. I'm assuming everybody in here owns a business, right? And your capacity is going to shorten down, and I'm going to show you your capacity is going to shorten down, especially for the people that are solo operators, okay? Solo operators, capacity is very important, okay? All right, so systems determine how many jobs you can complete. Systems determine how fast you can respond. Systems determine how much you can grow without stress. All right, so detailing capacity. How many jobs can I do a day, right? So this is just broken down in 2-hour detail time. So I'm assuming that most detailers are taking about 2 hours on their details for their middle package. Let's just call it the middle package, base package, whatever it is, right? 2 hours is what I base this off of, okay? So with the 2 hours, right, we are able to do approximately 4 jobs, okay? And this is going to put us a little bit over 8 hours because if they don't take a break, but you guys will understand and get the gist. If you start a job at 8 a.m., finish it at 10, get to your next one at 10:30, finish it at 12:30, get to your next one at 1, finish it at 3 o'clock, and then start your 3 o'clock one, you're going to end up finishing at 5:30, which is going to be, it's going to put you over, right? But you can get about 20 jobs done per week. So that is your capacity. So if that's your capacity, right, it just depends on what package. And every package, since we don't do just one thing, right? Let's just break it down to me for my luxury detail. So my luxury detail, right? It takes 4 hours. It's half the day. So for 4 hours of detail, we're gonna be able to do 2 details, right, a day. That's gonna be 10 details a week. So that's the capacity. At 10 details, at $400, that's $4,000. Okay, that's good money. It's good money. Oh, that is right. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Yes. $4,000. Okay. That's good money. Okay. So you can understand how capacity, right, will help you understand how much money you can actually make. Capacity is also going to help you with your numbers, right? Because if you don't understand how much you can do of your services, then you don't know how to price it. You can't price it. You cannot price it. It's impossible. Like if you know that you need to make $800 a day, right? And it takes you 6 hours, to make $500, are you going to hit your capacity? Are you going to hit your numbers? Most likely not, right? If it's taking the whole day and your capacity is 4 vehicles, right? And your goal is to make $800, right? But you're charging 150, you're going to come up short. Y'all, this is the reason why I run capacity right after the numbers, because they run hand in hand. Everything that I'm doing, everything I'm gonna teach you is gonna run in line. Now, don't get me wrong. I could sit up here for hours and just break literally every single thing down, but these are the foundational things that you need in your business. You need to know what you are actually capable of doing, right? That's what capacity is. What are you capable of doing, right? Like, how much work can you do? And so I bring this up because for a solo ops, right, it's a little bit different. Okay. So if you don't have systems, you are the system. We already understood that, right? If you don't have system, you are the system. If it only works when you do it, it's not a real system. This makes delegation impossible and prevents business from scaling beyond you. So for the people that are stuck in the solo operator mode, where you are like, man, I can't get nobody to do this thing properly, it's because the system is not right. Personal capacity decreases as your team grows. So as you add more people, your personal capacity, what you can take on yourself, is going to slow down. So if you can imagine, if you have 4 detailers and you're still detailing, your personal capacity is maxed out. You have the capacity of your details, and then you have the capacity of HR, management, marketing, sales, all of the above, answering the phones, doing the inventory, doing the restock, doing the research. All of those things are going to decrease your capacity. But that is what's going to decrease your capacity, because you're going to be so overwhelmed, because we also have a personal capacity. Our personal capacity is what we can handle ourselves. All right. Does everybody understand that? Does everybody understand capacity? Do we all get it? Someone put a 2. I'm tired of seeing ones. Let's see the 2s. Let's see the 2s. Put a 2 in there if you guys are understanding how capacity is going to affect your income. Richard says that's what my accountant went over today. Richard, your accountant went over your capacity? That's awesome. You got a good accountant. You got a good accountant if they literally sat down with you and went over capacity. That's great. I should have had him come in here and just explain it to y'all. Could have saved me a little breath. I'm just joking. All right. All right. Systems before marketing. Okay. Systems before marketing. Everybody, everybody asks me, man, how do I get more jobs? How do I get more jobs? How do I get more leads? How do I get more employees? How do I get this? How do I get this? They always ask me that. And the first thing that triggers in my mind, like the first thing that honestly triggers, is I'm like, are you set up to handle that? Because if I was to drop, let's just call it 500 jobs on you for the week, could you handle it? Do you have the systems to go and do it without going crazy, without being stressed out? Let's all agree that in detailing, you can work so hard and make so much money. Let's agree. We can make so much money, but if you're burnt out, stressed out, exhausted, can't think, can't complete all the tasks that you have to do for the day because you are out there making money, is it really worth it? If you're working 7 days a week and you can't even spend the money, you don't even get to enjoy it, is it really worth it? Like, I really want to know. Is it worth it? Is it worth it to you? Some of y'all might be like, yeah, it pays my bills. Okay, cool. Tell me, in 5 years, when you're doing the same thing, I'm going to ask you the same question. Is it still worth it? Because yeah, for a short burst of time, when you go from broke to making money, yeah, it feels like it's worth it. But when you go from broke broke to stressed out even more, to like burnt out, to exhausted, to overwhelmed, I don't know, man. I don't think these detailing numbers are actually worth doing. Like, I it wasn't for me. Honestly, it wasn't. So I had to create some systems, okay? So before marketing, your foundation must be established. Without systems, leads equal missed calls. How many people miss calls throughout the day? How many? Be honest. Put a 2 in the chat if you missed a call today. If you missed a call from a customer, put a 2 in the chat. Be honest. Just be brutally honest. Jason says, I missed a call. I missed a call. Is he the only one gonna be honest? Julian says me all the time. I got it. Richard says I have an AI receptionist, but the AI receptionist still misses them. Pierre says I miss many calls. Summertime is even worse. Here and there, right? So without the right systems, you will miss calls. Without the right systems, you'll have a scheduling mess. Without the right systems, you're going to have broken promises, and you put all that money into ads, it's just going to be a waste of money, because you're going to have the phone ringing for when you can't answer it. You're going to have the phone ringing when you don't have the employees to do the work. You're going to have the phone ringing when you don't want to answer it and you're out detailing and you can't actually answer the phone. Those are the reasons why you want to make sure that you have your systems together before your phone starts blowing off the hook. Because if you're not doing marketing now and you're missing calls, imagine how many calls you're going to miss when you start hitting the ground marketing. When I especially teach you tomorrow on all my little tricks on marketing day, which that's the best day. I saved the best for last. That's what everybody wanted, but I saved the best for last. Okay. He says, what's a scheduling mess look like to you? So a scheduling mess to me has you driving all over the city, right? A scheduling mess is like, hey, I just did a detail here. I'm going to drive way over here. I'm going to cross over, do one over here. Then I'm going to come back and I'm going to do the one over here. That's what a scheduling mess to me is. Another scheduling mess is, and I know if there's somebody in here, if there is somebody in here right now that tells me they've never done this, I'm calling BS 100%. So everyone knows what this scheduling mess is. Raise your hand and put a 3 in the chat if you have absolutely just forgot to put somebody on the schedule. You talked to them, you told them like, yeah, I'll be there tomorrow, forgot to put it on the book, and then you never showed up. And then you get that heart-sinking call, right? Where it goes, or the text message, hey, you still coming today? And you go, oh shit. Oh, dang, I forgot. Yeah, man, I'm actually finishing up my detail right now, and I was heading your way. No, you wasn't. No, you wasn't. You forgot. You forgot because of the system. That's why. And it is the worst feeling. I did it for so long. I was the king of it. I was running 6 different schedules and I was detailing myself. And I remember, man, me and my employees used to have a little ongoing joke. It was like, who are we gonna miss today? That's what it was. Like, it was literally, who will we miss today? And I was like, man, we ain't missing nobody. I ain't missing nobody, man. At the end of the day, man, hey, man, I hate to do this to you, man, but I forgot to put somebody on the schedule, and we were supposed to be there 2 hours ago, man. Can you knock this out for me? Like, I used to have to do it all the time, man. I'm telling you. I used to do it all the time. That to me is a scheduling mess. And if it's happening to you, it's lost revenue. Because if they're calling you, right? If they're calling you and say you forgot, imagine the ones that are not calling you. Imagine the ones that just were like, well, he just never showed. All right. That's lost revenue, right? So we gotta get it together. Gotta get it together. Okay. Why systems limit growth, right? Limit Training a team without systems is going to equal chaos. Delegation work without systems equals failure. Sales without systems equals broken promises. That means, and let me break this down for you. Sales with equal broken promises. If you're on the phone with someone and they say, "Hey, yeah, and while you're here, can you look at my headlights? I think there's something going on with it." And you say, "Oh yeah, yeah, no problem." Right? Hang up, everything's all good. And then you get there and you're like, oh man, I forgot all about the headlights. I forgot that she wanted me to look at the headlight. Dang. I know this happens to y'all because that's why I'm bringing it up. So I know it happens because it happens to me. And then what happens, you go, man, dang, I really can't do it right now, but I'm going to just do what I can with the tools that I have because I don't have my whole headlight kit. So I'm just going to do it with a little polish and go on, right? And what happens is you don't get the best results. You just don't get the best results. And it just happens. And unfortunately, that's what happens. And we want to try to avoid that. We want to try to avoid that by creating systems. Ad money is wasted, right? You're just wasting ad money. And for the people that are running ads, I'm going to tell you the biggest system that you're missing out on right here. Okay. The system that you are missing when you're running ads and you are wasting 100% of your money is by not following up enough. A lot of y'all, you guys get a lead, you call them, they don't answer, and that's it. Or you call them, they say, "Oh, that's too expensive." And then what happens is you will say, "Oh, well, they didn't want the service." Yes, they did. You just didn't tell them that they need the service, or you didn't present the fact that your value is here, not here, because they're calling and they keep using terms like car wash, car wash, car wash, and you're like, yeah, 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 we wash your car, but we're detailed. So when you let them assume that your value is here and you know your value is here, that's when you won't close the sale, right? So that is why it is important that you just continuously follow up on your clients, even if they say no, even if they're like, no, I'm good right now. Follow up. You already paid to get them. You may have your cost per click may be, $10, $15. It could be even lower, 5, whatever, but you paid for them. They reached out to you already. So I'm not going to go too far into that because I don't want to spoil for tomorrow, but that's how systems can help you burn your ad money. And I will get into tomorrow. I will tell you how to set it up to where you can actually use this to your advantage and set a system up that will automatically take care of most of the follow-up for you. I see some questions coming in. Darian says, stop calling me out. I ain't calling you out, man. I'm not calling you out. He said, do you manually follow up? That Jason, I'm gonna go over that tomorrow. I'm gonna definitely go over that tomorrow. Okay. All right. So marketing magnifies broken systems. And I'm gonna keep the reason why I'm gonna keep harping on this is because I really want you guys to understand that do not market if the systems are not right. If the systems are not solid, do not spend your money on marketing. Listen, I spent all 2025 working on nothing but systems. That's it. I worked on nothing but rebuilding my entire company. I took my company and then tore it down. I broke it down to the studs, right? I took it down to the concrete, honestly, because I had to redesign the whole entire platform, right? Because the platform that I was at a shop. And when I was at a shop, we had different systems. We had all these systems, all these procedures. It was nice. They come in, they do this, everything's on the wall, their keys are there, their card readers are there. It was just so nice. But when I realized when I got to the shop, it was about 9 o'clock. I was walking in, all my employees, hey, how's it going? Hey, what's going on? What you working on today? Got cars everywhere. It's chaos. I'm stressed out my mind. We got money flowing in every direction. I'm like, man, I don't want to do this. You guys, the reason why I didn't want to do it is because I didn't have a system for everything. That's what I meant. I didn't want to create a system for everything. I didn't want to, I was doing window tint. We were doing PPF. We were wrapping cars. We were doing ceramic coatings. We had dealership details. We had fleet detail. We had fleet contracts. We had we had customers like regular residential. We were everywhere. And what was happening was they were all just branching from the shop. They would leave from one place and they would just go all over different cities, all over the place. It was, listen, it was chaos. Okay. So 2025, very beginning of 2025, I started advertising to sell vans. Okay. I said, hey, I cannot do this. I got to redesign. There's too many people. There's not enough systems. I'm going crazy. My personal capacity was depleted, right? So what I did was is I sold off a couple of vans to a guy in Denver, okay? And then I closed the shop. I closed the shop. I said, we're done. I just did it out of the blue. I'm not even gonna lie. I didn't even have a backup plan. I just knew that I wasn't doing that. When I got to the shop and I was like, I am not doing this. I do not want to be the guy who comes and opens the shop every day. Because if I do this long enough, I've been doing it for 4 years already. If I do this long enough, I'm going to be an old man coming to open up a detail shop. And that just wasn't sitting well with me. I was like, no, I can't do this. A lot of y'all, I told y'all the story about my grandpa this morning and about how he's 90 something years old and he still does detailing. So if y'all didn't know that, my grandpa details. He's in his 90s and I promise you he still details. And if y'all don't believe me, I will shoot a video. I will go over there and I will show you this old man out there detailing. And to be honest, he probably will run circles around most of y'all's employees. Like just being serious. I offered to come help him for free. I was like, man, I felt so bad. I was like, man, I got free time. I'm not doing anything. Like you want me to come help you? You don't have to pay me. I'll just come and I'll help you do the detailing on my spare time at my own leisure. Right? He's like, nah, that ain't happening. I got my own thing. All right, fine, whatever. Right? But I did not want to be that guy. I couldn't be that guy. I could not be the guy who was gonna open the shop every single day. So it is very, very, very important to get your systems down now. Get them down now. I spent an entire year rebuilding while keeping the business alive, still going, trying new things. I was literally trying to figure it out. I tried a little bit this, a little bit that. Some of y'all may know. I even tried going to 2 employees per van. Who was here for that? I know Deshaun was here. I know Richard was here. Who was here when I was like, yeah, man, all right, I just put 2 people in the van. It's gonna be perfect. Let me tell you why. And I was like, yeah, they got a buddy to work with. They get jobs faster. They can take on more work, lightens the load. And what I didn't factor in was the negative, right? The bad. Well, if they're BSing, then it's going to cost me twice as much. And if one person's in a bad mood, it's going to rub off on the other person to be in a bad mood. And if one person's complaining, the other person's going to complain. And when you got 2 people on a job, when you say, hey, who did the wheels? It's always like a finger pointing match. Like, no, I didn't do that. He did that. I did this one. He did the other one. Like it was not fun. And I didn't do it long. I did it for like maybe like a month. And I was like, yeah, we're done. Back to one person in the van. Now we're back to smooth sailing. Okay. So I say that because listen, y'all, I've tried it all. Like, I know you guys are thinking, like, man, I'm going to try this. I'm going to try that. I'm telling you, if you can think of it, I've tried it. I had someone say, oh, well, I'll just create a competing company that's cheaper. Tried it. Tried it. I tried it all. I mean, if you could think of it, me and my guy Jeff, we used to literally sit in my garage all day long and just come up with strategy for this, strategy for that, strategy for this, strategy for that, strategies for everything, right? I had a strategy for everything that you could possibly think of. And we tried them. The ones that didn't work, We stopped. And I'm not saying, listen, I'm not here to tell you that some of these things won't work. They didn't work for my personal capacity, what I wanted to do every single day, what my body wanted to do every day. Some of y'all's bodies are screaming to you, I can't do this. I can't do this. But yet you still get out there every day and until you just blow up. Most people that go out of business is not because they're not making money. It's not that. Most people, when I ask them why they go out of business, like I talk to a lot of business owners that go out of business. I talk to a lot of detailers that go out of business. Most of the time when they go out of business, it's not because they weren't making money. It's because their personal capacity was depleted. And when your personal capacity is depleted, you stop. You say, hey, I'm done. When you're done running on the treadmill and you're burnt out, you hit the red button and you stop. And that is why people go out of business. So if you don't want to go out of business, stop running on the treadmill on 10 and let's turn the numbers down to a feasible number. That way you can manage and not burn out. Okay. Now, a lot of y'all are here. Y'all are thinking like, I try to look that for me too much. Okay, yeah, okay. So a lot of y'all thinking like, man, listen, this guy's giving away a lot of free game. He's giving away a lot of knowledge. Like, I'm loving this knowledge. Like, like I'm able to make a game-changing decision in one day just by talking with him, just by strategizing with him, just by learning off of his pain, because that's what it is. Y'all are learning off of my pain and the suffering that I went through for 14 years of trying to figure things out. Some of y'all are thinking, man, I would rather not do what he did. I don't want that stress. I'm already feeling the stress on my back. I don't want it, right? So I am only offering a one-time chance to work with me, okay? And I know a lot of y'all are thinking, I'm not in the position. I just came here for a free webinar. I understand it 100%. This is no pressure. It doesn't make any real difference for me. I'm going to still continue to run my business. I'm still going to make money. I'm still going to make moves. I'm still going to apply the same things that I would tell you, and they're going to work, right? But for the ones that want to go fast, the ones that are like, hey, I've been in business for 4 or 5 years. I want to get this going. Like I'm seeing this motion that you're doing. I see the motion that you are bringing to the table. I see how your coaching is actually helping me on my day to day. I see the value that you can bring to my business by your experience. You guys remember the first day I showed you the slides, the coaching, the consultant. I'm a little bit of both. I will coach you. Richard knows I'm going to push you. Most people know that if you've talked to me and you tell me that you're going to do something, I'm going to push you to do what you say you're going to do, right? I'm going to push you. Okay. So with that said, listen, I'm making a one-time offer and I didn't want to do this. I'll be 100% honest. I did not want to do this. I'm offering something that probably is, well, I know it's only going to last till 10 o'clock tonight. So it's only going to last 3 hours, right? But what I'm offering you is me, essentially. That's all I can give you. I can give you access to me. I can give you tailored plans for your business. I've already shown it. I've already proved it. I've proved it in one day how I can give you a little bit of advice and it could make a major difference. Jason already said, man, that his VIP was already paid for just by the information he got this morning in one 30-minute mastermind this morning, right? Imagine what you can do if you get a little bit more access and you get a little bit more of my attention outside of this, okay? So the offer that I'm making you today, it's tonight only, okay? Tomorrow it goes up. It's gonna 3x at 10 o'clock tonight. It's gonna automatically 3x, okay? So what you get is you get a custom tailored plan from me. So every month we're gonna write a custom tailored, this is what we're working on, this is what we're gonna do, and we're not deviating from that. We've already tried it by ourselves. We've already tried going our own route, and it's gotten us so far, which is great, but it hasn't gotten us to where we want to be. And I can help you get there, right? It's going to give you full access to the school platform. Right now, you guys are on the free version, right? And on the full version, it is the VIP level where it unlocks all the courses. It's going to give you access to more live streams. Some of y'all can't even see the live streams that are already set up because you're not VIP, right? When you do that, you will be able to see all of the ones that I'm going to be doing. Y'all, this is what I like to do. I'll be honest. Like having a skill that you can help other people change their lives is it's great for me because I struggled. I looked for so many years, I had to give up looking. I was looking for specific things. I was looking for someone who was in the, yeah, I can find people that are doing great things. Yes, I can find them all over. But I wanted someone specific to my niche. I wanted someone who was in the detail industry. I wanted someone who had employees. I wanted someone who had multiple vans. I wanted someone who was running multiple cities. I wanted someone who was the CEO of their company. I searched far. I searched all over the internet. I typed into Google. I asked chat. I jumped into all these groups. I jumped into detailing for money, and everybody's like, "What are you talking about?" I said, "Hey, is there anybody who's running 5+ units in multiple cities, not the same city?" Everybody's like, "No one does that." I'm like, "What are you talking about? I do that. I do that. What do you mean? No one does that." Open up your minds, guys. It's coming. Mobile detailing is the future of the car cleaning industry. Everybody's getting lazier and lazier and lazier. So that means we have the leverage. That means we are the future. And the faster you grow, the faster you get your spot. Right now, everybody's in a crowd and we're nudging our way, trying to get to the top, right? And no one knows where they're going. Everybody's fighting in the dark. No one's gotten there. I'm not there myself yet either. But I can tell you, after doing a lot of searching, I have the knowledge to get to a very, very far place in the detailing industry. Okay. Who here believes that? And the thing is, if you believe that I can help you, I just want you to put a believe in the chat. I believe. That's what I want you to put. I believe that you can help me because I know I can. I know I can help you. I know that if I give you the right tools at the right time, that's what it's about. It's not about overloading you. It's not about flooding you out with a bunch of information like in this webinar. It's about going, hey, I need you to do this today. Hey, for the next week, I need you to do this, nothing else. And that's what's going to move the needle. That's what's going to put you in the position to where you can make decisions. That way you can move forward in your company instead of going, I don't know what to do next. Because I've been there. I sat there. I don't know what to do next multiple times. I've had lots of conversations. I don't know if you guys, I'm not gonna put him on blast, but I've had a lot of conversations with a guy who has a lot of locations, like a lot of locations. And I pick his brain and, I give him my what I have in my head. And then, man, I'm telling you, it lines up with what he's doing in his business is not even funny. It's not even funny. He said, I got 950 in my account and I'm investing 500. So I believe. Listen, I believe. I believe in you as well, brother. Like you showed up every day. You showed up to every morning mastermind, right? Imagine what you're going to be able to do with constant knowledge, constant feeding you every day, every week. You're getting the knowledge, right? Now, I did say every day. I will be in the community every day. That's where I'm gonna draw my community is where I really want to grow that, and I really want people in there, and I eventually want to bring people up with me, so that way you guys can also be a part of Detailer to CEO. Who knows? Maybe one day you might be holding a class at Detailer to CEO because now you went from one van to 7 vans and you did it right and you learned it right. Okay. So That's the deal. At 1001, it goes to $1,500 a month. No questions asked. It's going to $1,500. I feel I know the value is there at 1,500, but I wanted to do this for the first people, for the people that were here first, for the people that supported me. Deshaun, Richard, y'all, listen, you guys have supported me a lot. I really appreciate it. I respect you guys. I see that. I see it. I see it. Okay. That's my offer, y'all. If you want to take advantage of it, I will tell you how to take advantage of it. Okay. If you want to take advantage of it, it's a one-time offer. It's only going to happen tonight. Okay. And it's on my site. Okay. It is detailertoceo.com/consulting program. Okay. That is where you need to go. All right. And there's a link that'll say get instant access. Okay. And when you do that, what I'll do is I will unlock VIP for you. Okay. Now, the reason why I kept it at 500 tonight is because I know that the courses are not 100% done on the school platform. Okay. The reason why I'm keeping it at 500 tonight is because I know that my coaching and consulting is going to start on Monday. Okay. It's going to start on Monday. It's not going to start immediately after. I got some things I want to build for you guys. I got some things I want to set up. Okay. So that's the reason why I am offering it at 500 today. So if you want it, and you want to sign up, Isaiah says, put that faith in Christ, relationship with the Father, eternal God cannot be brought, but was paid for by Christ. Come and find out about it for sure. For sure, brother. All right. We're about to hop over into the VIP. If you would like to sign up for the coaching and consulting, what you can do is you can send me a message, or you can go to Detailer CEO /consulting-program. And I'll slide this over so that you guys can see this. This is what it is. There is no fancy wording to try to sell you on it. It is just this simple, okay? All you have to do today, right? It's at a $2,000 value, but we're going up to 1,500. Okay. This is how you can lock in your spot with me. Once you lock this in, if you're going to lock this in on the live, let me know that you've locked in. And listen, it's a one-time opportunity. If your feet ain't moving, neither is your business, right? So if you really want to take it to the next level, this is where you need to be. All right. I pitched it. You guys see it? You guys have the opportunity. Can everybody see it? Can someone please let me know? One call a month. Exactly. Yes. One call. Well, it's going to be 3 calls a month. It's going to be bi-weekly group calls, and then you get one-on-one call where it is a strategy call. Our main focus is like, okay, last month we were supposed to work on this. Where are we at on it? Okay, we got to that. All right, now we're moving to this. And some of y'all in a couple of months, you're gonna be probably hiring 2-3 employees. You're going to be building out more vans, because we're going to be going right into the summer. So I think that you'll be nice and set up. And so with this, I do not believe that you will need me forever. Some of y'all will, the stubborn ones will, but this is to get you to the next level. Once you get to that next level, you can take a breather if you want. You can keep grinding if you want. If you want to just keep grinding with me, I'm full-time grinding. I'm full-time hustling. I'm full-time real. Y'all might be too young for that. But anyways, that's that Yo Gotti. But listen, if you are locked in, I'm locked in too. It's just that simple. I'm ready. I'm here for you. If you just want the free game, listen, take the free game. It is good game. If you don't think it's good game, I'm sorry that I didn't deliver, but Isaiah said it's not showing for you. Isaiah, are you on VIP? What if we get to the point where we don't need the course or we don't pay? Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what I mean, Jason. So once you get to the point where you feel like you don't need me anymore, you can just say deuces, bro. Darian said, Yo Gotti. Hey. All right. So listen, so that I can get over to the VIP and we got enough time to do Q&As. If you are signing up if you are signing up for the VIP, for the one-on-one coaching and consulting, I'll go ahead and just upgrade you to VIP and I'll move you over to that room. And then when we get into that room, I'll be able to drop the link because it actually has a way for me to do that. I don't have a way to do that here. So, or maybe I do. Here, take this link. This is the direct link. Tell me if that works. Darian, my God, brother, you know about that Gotti. That puts a smile on my face. I ain't even gonna lie, that puts a smile on my face. Doesn't make me feel so old. All right. Okay. VIPs, same link as yesterday. Same link. So just go back to the same link, hop in there, and I will meet you there. So y'all got to beat me there, and I'll meet you there. All right, y'all. Listen, I appreciate you guys. For the people that keep showing up, I hope that I'm delivering value. Like at the end of the day, I just want to be able to bring value to you. Um, okay, Ahmed. Tell me what platform you wrote me on so that way I can send it to you. Was it TikTok or Instagram? Dang, you missed yesterday? Man, yesterday was good. Yesterday was good. All right, let me see what platform you're on. Text message, but I'll hit you up on Insta. Okay, send me a message on Instagram. I will send you the link to get in. It should be in your inbox. I know that some of them were going to spam, some of them were going. Okay, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Don't worry about it. I'll make sure that you still get it. Okay. It's working for me on Chrome, but I'll let my team know on the back end that if there's an issue with it, I will let them know and I'll make sure that we get it taken care of and I'll build out a different link. So I will take care of that, y'all. Okay. But I am gonna end it for now. Everybody who showed up, I appreciate you. All the VIPs, get in the other room. Get in the other room so we can get this Q&A going. All right, y'all.